So he leaves, and this is where things go
South.
Yeah.
This is where things get a little deadly. Yeah.
All right. So 1 Kings 13:11 through 19. Now an old prophet was living in Bethel, and his sons came to him and told him all the deeds which the man of God had done that day in Bethel. The words which he had spoken to the king, these also they reported to their father. So he knows the commandment that he
Right.
received.
Right.
And their father said to them, "Which way did he go?" Now his sons had seen the way the man of God who came from Judah had gone. Then he said to his son, "Saddle the donkey for me." So they saddled the donkey for him, and he rode away on it. So he came out. So he went after the man of God and found him sitting under an oak. And he said to him, "Are you the man of God who came from Judah?" And he said, "I am." Then he said to him, "Come home with me and eat bread." But he said, "I cannot return with you, nor come with you, nor will I eat bread or drink water with you in this place. For a command came to me by the word of the Lord, you shall not eat bread nor drink water there. Do not return by going the way that you came." Then he said to him, "Well, I too am a prophet like you. And an angel spoke to me by the word of the Lord, saying, Bring him back with you to your house, so that he may eat bread and drink water." But he lied to him. So he went back with him and ate bread in his house and drank water. All right. So I wish I understood what this old prophet's end game was,
Sure.
right? And here's my like if I had to assume or like kind of come up with an idea. This is my impression.
Right.
So he's one of the prophets in Bethel.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not getting the word of the Lord.
Right.
He's probably one of the purchased prophets.
100%.
Right.
He's on the payroll. Yeah.
So much so that when an authentic prophet arrives,
Right.
his sons are like, "Dad, you got to hear about this."
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I got to know more. I got to be a part of this. I got to be in the story. I got to get into this." And he's like, "I'm going to go after the guy."
Right.
And so he's like, "Hey, you should come spend some time with me."
Sure.
And he's like, "Nope, God told me no.
Right.
The word of the Lord came to me and said no." And then that's where he gets crafty.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, it just so happens, friend.
I too am a prophet.
I
Yes.
too, just like you, I also hear the word of the Lord.
Right.
And he told me something contrary to what he told you."
Right.
Now, perhaps the first prophet, the authentic prophet,
Right.
perhaps he's thinking in his head, "Okay, God saw that I was obedient.
Right. Maybe the obedience is done. I've lived out what I've been told.
It's paid off.
Right.
It's paid off." And now he's like, "Okay, just like God tells Abraham to go sacrifice Isaac.
Right.
At some point, he tells him to stop.
Right.
And he gives him what he needs.
Right.
Okay, so maybe this is it. I can stop and I can go and I can eat with him.
Right.
Right. And so he does. Mm-hmm. So he goes back with him.
Which, by the way, can we just talk about how hilarious it is? He says that to the king. He's like, "You could give me half your house and I wouldn't." And where do we find him? He's just sitting under a tree. He ain't got nowhere to go. He just is walking. He's just walking.
Twiddle my thumbs.
And not only is he just walking, but I think what's really interesting is, like you said, what is this guy's end game? And I wonder if there's an end game of, I'm going to try and not take out the competition, but I'm going to try and, this is my competition. And so I'm going to, because here's the other thing. It says he's an old man. Why is old is important? It's not just, he's not just a guy. It's not just, he's an old man. And so from a biblical perspective, old is supposed to mean wisdom. It's supposed to mean all of these things, signs of respect. So this is an old man who may be at the end of his game, by the way, because like I said, he's probably on the payroll because he's not hearing from God, because it brings a prophet from the outside in, takes it. So I see all this to say, like, there's something nefarious happening below the surface.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is this prophet does not, the real prophet does not ever. So he says, "I too am a prophet."
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's the other funny part is this guy doesn't question it at all. He doesn't say, "Give me a sign." He doesn't even stop and say, "Is this the truth, Lord?" Like it's just, "Okay, I'll go eat with you." And so that's where our story begins to pick up now.
Yeah. Now, something also I want to point out with this is how much easier was it for him to say no to the king?
Oh, sure.
And it's easy for him to say no to the king because the king is clearly doing wrong.
He's the bad guy. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the bad guy. He's evil, right? The king is doing evil things, and it's easy
Right.
for him. But the second somebody comes to him who claims to be aligned with him in his beliefs and his righteousness and his,
Oh, bless you.
excuse me, and all of that, as soon as he has somebody that he thinks is, oh, this guy's legit,
Right.
he's like me. For whatever reason, he had to believe the man. Now suddenly, he quickly turns his back on what God told him.
Right. Right. And does so without question. Oh, but like you said, because the source seems more legitimate.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But
Seems less
seems, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. He's not this evil guy. He too is a prophet. Oh, wow. So God has spoken to him before.
Yep.
But this is where I would give there are a lot of prophets in the world.
Yeah.
Like even in Bible times, we see Jesus casting demons out of people because they were prophets. I'm winking for those who can't see. Like, like they said that they were prophets. But anyway, this guy says, okay, because it seems on the surface better. It seems innocent on the surface, right?
Yeah, it does. It seems innocuous. And I think one of the things that we have to take from this is that we're not always going to know who and why is lying to us.
Right, 100%.
Who's lying to you and why they're lying to you will not always be clear,
Right.
right? But if you have the initial command,
Sure.
you don't need to know,
Right.
right?
And he even says it back to this guy. God told me not to go by this place anymore.
Yeah.
I've already said this. So he said it twice now. So
Right.
he knows God's plan has not, as far as he's heard, changed.
Yeah, but now he thinks that it has.
Maybe it has. Right.